can operate this 24 hours a day, and we are at the beck and call of the Royal Marines.
Lieutenant J.J. Hughes joined the Royal Navy approximately 6 years ago now. Joined the Fleet Air Arm. Many people think that joining the Navy, you're just going to get on a ship and spend most of your time bobbing around in the water somewhere. Not true. As part of the Fleet Air Arm, I fly helicopters for the Commando Helicopter Force. Seeking helicopters. Our main role is to support the Royal Marines ashore. We've spent a lot of time actually off ships, desert environments, in snow environments like this, all environments basically. Very little time spent on ships. The ships will basically take us to where we want to go, and then we'll get off and support the Royal Marines ashore.
We can do it. I mean, not that there's a lot going on.
24 hours ago, this didn't exist. In 24 hours' time, this may not exist. We are at 1 hour's notice to move from here. So if we are compromised or told to move, we will go.
Now for tea tonight, we've got chicken balti and an apple with custard.
In blizzard conditions and temperatures as low as -40, the exercise must go on.
Well, the legacy of the Cold War, and people would ask, why do we still come up to Norway in order to exercise and practice? Well, there's many reasons, one of which, and I would argue the primary reasons, it's hard to live, it's hard to operate, it's hard to fight in this environment. If we can do it here, then we can do it anywhere. And that's especially on the flying side. If you can fly in Norway, it's nice and clear today, but it's not always the case. If you can operate in the snow, then you can more or less do it anywhere in the world.
As you can appreciate, when you're flying out in the helicopters, they kick up a lot of snow, and they can get into what is called a whiteout condition, and it can be quite problematic to actually land anywhere, particularly when the snow is a powdered snow. There is a certain technique that you can employ to land safely in those conditions, and it is pretty much identical to that techniques that you're using in desert conditions. Out in the desert, clearly the sand in those conditions can be very, very detrimental to rotor blades, to engines, and to the airframe in general. Whereas out here we're teaching the same techniques to the pilots, but the snow doesn't damage the aircraft in any way, shape or form.
The Commando Helicopter Force operates in some of the harshest environments on Earth, and this training means when they are sent into action, they fly and maintain their aircraft regardless of conditions.
The lads that repair the helicopters have been working very hard while we've been out here. They've done engine changes in the field. We're through our second engine change today. That's hard on them. They've worked 24 hours about. So you'll be changing an engine through the night where it's coolest, and then the pilots will have to get up and ground run and air test those aircraft in the morning. Sometimes it'll run through the day.
Okay, come round the back of this and then we're pushing in again.
The biggest difficulty we're encountering out here is the heat. The temperature of the aircraft and the metal on it gets very hot. Obviously it's been out and just get hot soaked in the sun all day. And so you have to be careful of that. And obviously, towards the later end of the day, the winds do pick up and there is a sort of mild sandstorm. So working anywhere within like the engine compartments or the gearbox or anywhere where you have to open up a lot of panels, you've got to be careful because of these winds and the sand. Anything getting inside is obviously cause major problems.
Back in the Arctic, where temperatures can be up to 90 degrees colder than the desert, a sortie is being planned.
Which is going to be crew Alpha, Parry, Alsop, Stringer and Milne. You are basically going to be tasked, and waiting confirmation from Albion.
It is particularly challenging, the types of flying that we do out here, but also for the maintainers, it is particularly difficult in the temperatures to maintain aircraft on the line, and they've done a fantastic job to give us the aircraft to enable us to go and do the job.
It's hard to explain to my friends my job because they seem to imagine I'm away on a ship sailing to the Caribbean, when in all honesty, in my 4.5 years I've only done 2 ships, and we're always land-based, always away supporting 4.2, 4.5 and 40 Commando. But as time goes on with the new ships we're bringing in, we've spent a lot more time at sea.
Servicing is crucial, and whether an aircraft is on land or aboard ship, the maintainers have to ensure they're always airworthy.
We have servicing that we do every day on the aircraft, and that's fairly minor. And then we break it down, so every 25 hours that the aircraft's been flying there's a work package, and then 50, 70 and 100 hour packages. This one has come down for a 25 hour package, which is a fairly minor set, looking at the engines and making sure they're still working correctly, making sure there's no debris, damage to the engines and the gearboxes, taking oil samples, and we send them off to a laboratory to make sure everything's running fine in the aircraft.
Servicing an aircraft in Invincible's vast hangar seems quite comfortable compared with life at the front.
Working on the aircraft can be quite hard at -20 because you obviously need gloves on, otherwise your fingers will stick to the aircraft, and that's hard when you're doing fiddly jobs. So you've got to do it with your bare fingers and just keep breathing on them so your fingers don't freeze to the aircraft. It can be quite hard, especially on hours on end when you just sat there trying to do work on it. It's just you just want to throw your spanners down and just walk off.
The temperature this far north can be as low as -40, which makes keeping warm quite a challenge.
I sleep in the back of the van. One of the problems is it's quite cold over night time, so we can't run the generators or the heaters on the motor through the night. If it was canvas, there's a good thermal properties in canvas, but with myself here I've got a plastic and metal box which does turn into a one-man fridge really through the night, and it can get quite cold. Last night, first night we got here, one of the lads stuck to the side, I stuck to the side because of the cold. Or sleeping bag stuck to the side anyway. You know, if we get down to -20, -30, you've always got the problems of any bare metal, touch that with your bare skin, that's going to instantly stick you to the metal and burn you.
As long as it stays very cold, you don't get wet. But if the temperature goes up a bit, you know, you have problems getting wet, because if you get wet, that's even worse. But nothing's easy like this.
Once you've got 4 people inside here, with the more people you've got in it, the warmer it is. And once you've got your cookers, you start cooking through the end of your tent there, because obviously once you're in there, you're stripping yourself down and getting into your bags as well. So obviously using your layer system and not sitting in there just doing nothing, you get in your bags whenever you've got the time to stand down. So you're trying to make yourself as warm as possible and keep as much hot fluids in you as possible as well.
In these conditions, the body needs large amounts of fuel, and the 24-hour ration packs each contain 5,000 calories.
The food out here is all dried food. We're not short of water, as I've said. The way we do it up is we boil it up, rip open the bag and put it inside. What have we got here today? Oh, hot cereal start. I'll let you have that one. Chicken and mushroom soup. Toilet roll. Drinking chocolate, which is a big favourite. And for tea tonight, we've got chicken balti and an apple with custard.
I usually eat quite a lot more when I'm out here. I probably eat double the amount of food I'm eating, normal like meals and stuff, and I'll eat a lot of chocolate as well and have a nutty if I can, because I find like I'm always quite hungry. I presume it's due to the amount of energy you burn off during all the work and due to the cold.
I get asked 1,000 times, how do I go to the toilet in the Arctic? Well, it's dead simple. We've had our beautiful ration pack, we've pulled out our little bag of toilet roll, and we've got ourselves a little biodegradable toilet bag. Here we've built ourselves a little toilet, some walls, keep the wind off us. You've heard the phrase windy bottoms. Some nights out here, it is terribly windy bottoms. So we get our bag, we get our toilet roll, we make our way in, have a look around, make sure no one's looking at us, put our bag into the toilet and do our business. When we've finished, we take a little package, we wrap it up nice and neatly in our bag, and we double bag it. This is removed twice a day for health and hygiene purposes when we're in the field. Keeping ourselves clean and fluid is one of the best ways of staying healthy, fit to fight.
back on Invincible, 10 miles from the coast.